Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video we are going to cover the topics integers, rational numbers and real numbers, and we will also learn about comparison of numbers. Let's start with real numbers. The type of numbers that we normally use are real numbers. They are further classified into rational numbers and irrational numbers. And while irrational numbers consist of non-recurring and non-terminating decimals, rational numbers are further classified into integers and fractions. And then integers are further classified into negative numbers and whole numbers. And again, whole numbers are classified into zero and positive numbers. Our first topic is rational numbers. Well, a rational number is such a number which can be written in fraction form, or you can say which can be written in the form of p over q when p and q are integers but q cannot be zero. Rational numbers are further classified into terminating decimals and recurring or repeating decimals. In terminating decimals, the digits after the decimal place terminate. For example, we have 9 over 4 that is equal to 2.25. That is, the digits after the decimal place terminate, or we have minus 0.7. In recurring or repeating decimals, some digits after the decimal place repeat themselves indefinitely, as we have 1 over 3 that is equal to 0.33333 and so on and so forth. So as the digits after the decimal place are repeating themselves indefinitely, that's why 1 over 3 is an example of recurring or repeating decimals. Second topic is irrational numbers. Well, an irrational number is such a number which cannot be expressed as a fraction. Moreover, in decimal form, it never ends or repeats. So, irrational numbers contain non-recurring and non-terminating decimals. In such decimals, the digits after the decimal place do not repeat, but they continue indefinitely. Mostly surds are included in the examples of irrational numbers. When we cannot simplify a number to remove a square root or cube root, etc., then it is a surd. Now let us discuss about fractions. Well, fractions represent equal parts of a whole or a collection. There are two parts of a fraction. The top number is called the numerator and the bottom number is called the denominator. The numerator tells the number of equal parts taken, and denominator tells the total number of equal parts in a whole. Fractions are further classified into proper fractions, mixed fractions, and improper fractions. Proper fractions are those in which the numerator is less than the denominator, such as 3 over 4. Improper fractions are those in which the numerator is greater than the denominator, such as 9 over 5. And mixed number is a whole number and a proper fraction together, such as we have 1 whole 1 over 2. Finally, let us discuss about integers. Well, integer is a number that can be written without a fractional component. That is, 0, minus 3 and 5 are integers, or in other words, you can say that all the negative numbers, 0, and all the positive numbers are included in integers. But decimals and fractions are not included in integers. That is why 1 whole 1 over 2 or under root 2, 3.15 and 3 over 4 are not considered integers. Integers basically include all the whole numbers and their negative counterparts. Integers are further classified into whole numbers and negative numbers, and whole numbers are classified into zero and positive numbers. Here we need to differentiate between integers and numbers. We are given a list of numbers from which we need to sort positive numbers and negative numbers, positive integers and negative integers. Well, first of all, we will simply jot down positive numbers and negative numbers because that is quite easy to do. All the numbers which have a negative sign with them are negative numbers. So we will simply write minus 0.3, minus 5 over 7, minus 12, minus 1 whole 1 over 2, and minus 2017 as negative numbers. And then we will write all the remaining numbers as positive numbers. We have 1 over 5, 4.33, 10,001 and 4. After having written the positive numbers and the negative numbers, we will extract the integers from them. Well, while writing the integers, we will simply leave the decimals and the fractions. From the negative numbers, we will take out minus 12 and minus 2017, and from the positive numbers, we will take out 10,001 and 4. So basically, if you remember that integers do not include fractions and decimals, then you can simply sort the numbers. Well, we all know that negative numbers represent opposites. That is, if positive represents a movement towards the right, then negative represents a movement to the left. Likewise, we need to solve this activity that is given over here. The first one says if minus 6 represents 6 meter below sea level, then plus 30 represents obviously 30 meter above sea level, because above sea level is the opposite of below sea level. Then we have the second one, if plus 40 represents depositing $40 in the bank, then a withdrawal of $35 is represented by minus 35, because the opposite of plus is minus. Then the third one is if minus 60 degree represents a clockwise rotation of 60 degree, then plus 30 degree represents obviously an anti-clockwise rotation of 30 degree, because the opposite of clockwise rotation is anti-clockwise. Finally, the fourth one says if plus 45 represents a speed of 45 km per hour of a car traveling east, then minus 45 represents obviously a speed of 45 km per hour of a car traveling west, because the opposite of east is west. Next topic is comparison of numbers. Well, while comparing two numbers, you need to remember that 0 is less than all positive numbers and 0 is greater than all negative numbers. All positive numbers are greater than all negative numbers, and the fun fact about negative numbers is the greater the value of a negative number, the lesser it is considered, and the lesser the value of a negative number, the greater it is considered. Now let us solve this activity. We have 16 and 60. Obviously 16 is less than 60. Then we have 3.1 and 3.2. Obviously 3.1 is less than 3.2. Then we have minus 6 and 8. Well, all the positive numbers are greater than all the negative numbers, so minus 6 is less than 8. Then we have 30 and minus 31. 30 being the positive number is greater than minus 31. Then we have minus 2 and 0. Well, 0 is greater than all the negative numbers, that's why minus 2 is less than 0. Then we have 9.8 and minus 9.9. Obviously 9.8 being the positive number is greater than minus 9.9. Then we have minus 11 and minus 11.5. Here you must remember that the lesser the value of a negative number, the greater it is considered. So minus 11 is greater than minus 11.5. Then we have minus 4 and minus 6. Same goes for these two numbers. Minus 4 is obviously greater than minus 6. Then we have 1 over 5 and 1 over 3. Well, 1 over 3 is greater than 1 over 5. Then we have minus 1 over 3 and minus 5 over 6. Well, minus 1 over 3 is greater than minus 5 over 6. Well, a question might have lingered in your mind about comparing fractions. So here let me explain it to you. Why 1 over 5 is less than 1 over 3. Whenever we are given fractions, we need to check whether they are like fractions or unlike fractions. Well, when the denominators are same, they are called like fractions, and when the denominators are different, they are called unlike fractions. Here we have unlike fractions, so we will convert them into like fractions. Here we use the idea of equivalent fractions, or we can make use of the LCM of the denominators. When we have converted the fractions into like fractions, the fraction with the greater numerator is the larger one. So when we have 3 over 15 and 5 over 15, obviously 3 over 15 is less than 5 over 15. Here I have also drawn it for you. I have drawn a rectangle for you. For 1 over 5, I have divided the rectangle into 5 equal parts, and for 1 over 3, I have divided the rectangle into 3 equal parts. Now it is quite visible that 1 out of 5 parts is obviously less than 1 out of 3 parts. Likewise, in the second fraction we have minus 1 over 3 and minus 5 over 6. First of all, we have converted these into like fractions, and then we have minus 2 over 6 and minus 5 over 6. Obviously 2 over 6 is lesser in value, but as we are talking about negative numbers, and we all know that the lesser the value of a negative number, the greater it is considered. Therefore, minus 2 over 6 is greater than minus 5 over 6. And that concludes our topic, comparison of numbers. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope that you found the video useful. Kindly subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you so much.